winter of our discontent, may glorious summer by the sun of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front. And now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber till the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass, I let him rudely stamped, and want love's majesty to shred before a wanton ambling nymph. I let him curtailed of this fair proportion, tainted of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world, scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I hold by them. Why, I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to see my shadow in the sun, and descant on mine own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these farewell spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy which says that Geo Mademoiselle the murderer shall be. Dive thoughts down to my soul. Here Clarence comes. found their weight upon your graves.
His Majesty, tendering my person's safety, hath appointed this conduct to convey me to the tower.
Upon what cause?
Because my name is George.
Alack, my lord! That fault is none of yours. He should for that commit your godfathers. Oh, belike his majesty hath some intent that you should be new christened in the tower. But what's the matter, Clarence? May I know?
Yea, Richard, when I know, for I protest as yet I do not. But as I can learn, he hearkens after prophecies and dreams, and from the crossroad plucks the letter G, and says a wizard told him that by G his issue disinherited should be, and for my name of George begins with G, it follows in his thought that I am he. These, as I learn, and such like toys as these, hath moved his highness to commit me now.
Why, this it is, when men are ruled by women. 'Tis not the king that sends you to the tower. My Lady Grey, his wife, Clarence. 'Tis she that tempers him to this extremity. Was it not she, and that good man of worship, Anthony Woodville, her brother there, that made him send Lord Hastings to the tower, from whence this present day he is delivered? We are not safe, Clarence. We are not safe.
By heaven, I think there is no man who secure but the Queen's kindred, and night-walking heralds that trudge betwixt the king and Mistress Shore. Heard you not what an humble suppliant Lord Hastings was for his livery?
Humbly complaining to her deity, got my Lord Chamberlain his liberty. I'll tell you what, I think it is our way, if we will keep in favor with the king, to be her men and wear her livery, the jealous or worn widow in herself. Since that our brother dubbed them gentlewomen are mighty gossips in our monarchy.
I beseech your graces both to pardon me. His Majesty hath straitly given a charge that no man shall have private conference, of what degree soever, with your brother.
Even so? And please your worship, Brackenbury, you may partake of anything we say. We speak no treason, man. We say the king is wise and virtuous, and his noble queen well struck in years, fair, and not jealous. We say that Shore's wife hath a pretty foot, a cherry lip, a bonny eye, a passing pleasing tongue, and that the queen's kindred are made gentle folks. How say you, sir? Can you deny all this?
With this, my lord, myself have naught to do.
Naught to do with Mistress Shore? I tell thee, fellow, he had naught with her excepting one. Were best to do it secretly alone.
What's one, my lord?
Her husband, knave. Wouldst thou betray me?
I do beseech your grace to pardon me, and withal forbear your conference with the noble duke.
We know thy charge, Brackenbury, and will obey.
We are the queen's abjects, and must obey. Brother, farewell. I will unto the king, in whatsoe'er you will employ me in. Were it to call King Edward's widow's sister, I will perform it to enfranchise you. Meantime, this deep disgrace in brotherhood touches me deeper than you can imagine.
I know it pleaseth neither of us well.
Well, your imprisonment shall not be long. I will deliver you, or else lie for you. Meantime, have patience.
I must perforce. Farewell.
Go. Tread the path that thou shalt ne'er return. Simple, plain Clarence. I do love thee so that I will shortly send thy soul to heaven. If heaven will take the present at our hands. But who comes here? The new deliverer, Hastings?
Good time of day unto my gracious lord.
As much unto my good Lord Chamberlain. Well, are you welcome to the open air? How hath your lordship brooked imprisonment?
With patience, noble lord, as prisoners must. But I shall live, my lord, to give them thanks that were the cause of my imprisonment.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And so shall Clarence too. For they that were your enemies are his, and have prevailed as much on him as you.
More pity that eagles should be mewed, whilst kites and buzzards pray at liberty.
What news abroad?
No news so bad abroad as this at home. The king is sickly, weak and melancholy, and his physicians fear him mightily.
Now, by Saint John, that news is bad indeed. Oh, he hath kept an evil diet long, and overmuch consumed his royal person. 'Tis very grievous to be thought upon. Where is he? In his bed?
He is.
Go you before, and I'll follow you. He cannot live, I hope, and must not die till George be packed with post-horse up to heaven. I'll end to urge his hatred more to Clarence with the lies well steeled with weighty arguments. And if I fail not in my deep intent, Clarence hath not another day to live. Which done, God take King Edward to his mercy and leave the world for me to bustle in. For then I'll marry Warwick's youngest daughter. What though I killed her husband and her father? The readiest way to make the wench amends is to become her husband and her father. The which will I, not all so much for love as for another secret close intent by marrying her which I must reach unto. But yet I run before my horse to market. Clarence still breathes, Edward still lives and reigns. When they are gone, then must I count my gains. Set down your honorable loves. If honor may be shrouded in a heart, whilst I awhile obsequiously lament the untimely fall of virtuous Lancaster. Poor, key-cold figure of a holy king, pale ashes of the house of Lancaster, thou bloodless remnant of that royal blood, be it lawful that I invocate thy ghost to hear the lamentations of poor Anne, wife to thy Edward, to thy slaughtered son, stabbed by the self-same hand that made these wounds. Lo, in these windows that let forth thy life, I pour the helpless balm of my eyes. Oh, cursed be the hand that made these holes! Cursed the heart that had the heart to do it! Cursed the blood that let this blood from hence! More direful, happy tide that hated wretch that makes us wretched by the death of thee than I can wish to wolves, to spiders, toads, or any creeping venom thing that lives. If ever he have child, abortive be it, prodigious and untimely brought to light, whose ugly and unnatural aspect may fright the hopeful mother and the few, and that the heir to his unhappiness. If ever he have wife, let her be made more miserable by the life of him than I am made by my young lord and thee. Come now towards Chertsey with your holy load, taken from Paul's to be interred there. And still, as you are weary of this weight, rest you, whiles I lament King Henry's corpse. Stay! You that made the course and set it down! What black magician conjures up this fiend to stop devoted charitable deeds? Villains! Set down the course, or, by St. Paul, I'll make a course of him that disobeys!
My lord, stand back and let the coffin pass.
Unmannered dog, stand thou when I command! Advance thy halberd higher than my breast, or, by St. Paul, I'll strike thee to my foot and spurn upon thee, beggar, for thy boldness! What? Do you tremble? Are you all afraid? Alas, I blame you not, for you are mortal, and mortal eyes cannot endure the devil! A thought! Thou dreadful minister of hell! Thou hadst but power over his mortal body, his soul thou canst not have! Thou may be gone! Sweet saint, for charity, be not so cursed. Foul devil! For God's sake, haste and trouble us not! For thou hast made the happy earth thy hell, filled it with cursing cries and deep exclaims. If thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold this pattern of thy butcheries. Oh, gentlemen, see! See dead Henry's wounds! Open their congealed mouths and breathe afresh! Blush, blush, thou lump of foul deformity! For 'tis thy presence that exhales this blood from cold and empty veins where no blood dwells! Thy deeds inhuman and unnatural provokes this deluge most unnatural! Oh God! Which this blood madness revenges them! Oh hell! Which this blood drinkest revenges them! In heaven with lightning strike the murderer dead! Eyes gape open wide and eat him quick! As thou dost swallow up this good king's blood, which is hell governed arm and butchery! Lady, you know no rules for charity, which renders good for bad, blessings for curses. Villain, thou knowest no law of God nor man! No beast so fierce, but know some touch of pity! But I know none, and therefore am no beast. Oh, wonderful, when devils tell the truth! More wonderful, when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe, divine perfection of a woman, of these supposed crimes to give me leave by circumstance but to acquit myself. Vouchsafe, diffuse infection of a man, of these known evils but to give me leave by circumstance to accuse thy cursed self. Fairer than tongue can name thee. Let me have some patient leisure to excuse myself. Fouler than heart can think thee. Thou canst make no excuse current but to hang thyself. By such despair I should accuse myself. And by despairing shalt thou stand accused for doing worthy vengeance on thyself that didst unworthy slaughter upon others? Say that I slew them not. Then say they were not slain, but dead they are, and devilish slaved by thee. I did not kill your husband. Why? Then he is alive! Nay, he is dead and slain by Edward's hands. In thy foul throat thou liest! Queen Margaret saw thy murderous falchion smoking in his blood, the which thou once didst bend against her breast, but that thy brothers beat aside the point. I was provoked by her slanderous tongue that laid their guilt upon my guiltless shoulders. Thou wast provoked by thy bloody mind that never dreamest on aught but butcheries. Didst thou not kill this king? I grant ye. Dost grant me, hedgehog? Then God grant me too. Thou mayest be damned for that wicked deed. Oh, he was gentle, mild, and virtuous. The better for the King of Heaven that had him. He is in heaven, where thou shalt never go. Let him thank me that hope to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than earth, and now unfit for any place but hell. Yes, one place else, if you will hear me name it. Some dungeon! Your bedchamber. I'll rest beside the chamber where thou liest! So will it, madam, till I lie with you. I hope so. I know so. But gentle Lady Anne, to leave this keen encounter of our wits and fall something into a slower method is not the causer of the timeless deaths of these Plantagenets, Henry and Edward, as blameful as the executioner. That was the cause, and most accursed effect. Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty that did haunt me in my sleep to undertake the death of all the world, so I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom. If I thought that, I tell thee, homicide, these nails should rent that beauty from my cheek. These eyes could not endure that beauty's rack. You should not blemish it if I stood by, as all the world is jilted by the sun. So I might add, it is my day, my life. Black night or shade thy day, and death thy night. Curse not thyself, fair creature, thou art both. I would I were to be revenged on thee. It is a quarrel most unnatural, to be revenged on him that loveth thee. It is a quarrel just and reasonable, to be revenged on him that killed my husband. He that bereft thee, lady of thy husband, did it to help thee to a better husband. His better does not breathe upon the earth. He lives that loves thee better than he could. Name him. Plantagenet. Why, that was he! The self-same name, but one of better nature. Where is he? Here. Why dost thou spit at me? Would it were more to poison for thy sake? Never came poison from so sweet a place. Never hung poison on a fouler toad. Out of my sight! Thou dost infect mine eyes. Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine. Would they were basilisks to strike thee dead? I would they were, that I might die at once. For now, they kill me with a living death. Those eyes of thine from mine have drawn salt tears. Shame their aspects with store of childish drops. These eyes which never shed remorseful tear. No, when my father York and Edward wept to hear the piteous moan that Rutland made when black-faced Clifford shook his sword at him. Nor when thy warlike father, like a child, told the sad story of my father's death, and 20 times made boys to sob and weep. That all the standers by had wet their cheeks like trees bedashed with rain. In that sad time my manly eyes did scorn and humble tear, and what these sorrows could not thence exhale, thy beauty hath, and made them blind with weeping. I never sued to friend nor enemy, but my tongue could never learn sweet, smoothing word. But now thy beauty is proposed my fee, my proud heart sues, and prompts my tongue to speak. Teach not thy lip such scorn, for it was made for kissing, lady, not for such contempt. If thy revengeful heart cannot forgive, lo, here I lend thee this sharp-pointed sword, which, if thou please to hide in this true breast, which let the soul forth that adoreth thee, I lay it naked to the deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. Nay, do not pause, for I did kill King Henry, but 'twas thy beauty that provoked me. Nay, now dispatch! 'Twas I that stabbed young Edward, but 'twas thy heavenly face that set me on. Take up the sword again, or take up me.
Rise, dissembler. Though I wish thy death, I will not be thy executioner.
Then bid me kill myself, and I will do it.
I have already.
That was in thy rage. Speak it again, and even with the word, this hand, which for thy love did kill thy love, shall for thy love kill a far truer love. To both their death shalt thou be accessory.
I would I knew thy heart.
'Tis figured in my tongue.
I fear me both are false.
There never was man true.
Well, put up your sword.
Say then, my peace is made.
That shalt thou know hereafter.
But shall I live in hope?
All men, I hope, live so.
Vouchsafe to wear this ring.
To take is not to give.
Look how my ring encompasseth thy finger. Even so thy breast encloseth my poor heart, where for both of them are thine. And if thy poor devoted servant may but beg one favor at thy gracious hand, thou dost confirm his happiness forever.
What is it?
That it may please you leave these sad divines to him that hath most cause to be a mourner, and presently repair to Crosby House, where, after I have solemnly interred at Chertsey Monastery this noble king, and wet his grave with my repentant tears, I will with all expedient duty see you, for divers unknown reasons. I beseech you, grant me this boon.
With all my heart, and much it joys me too, to see you are become so penitent. Trestle and Berkeley, go along with me.
Bid me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve, but since you teach me how to flatter you, imagine I have said farewell already.
Sirs, take up the cause.
Toward Chertsey, noble lord.
No, to Whitefriars. There attend my coming. Was ever woman in this human wood? Was ever woman in this human one? I'll have her! but I will not keep her long. What? I that killed her husband and his father? To take her in her heart's extremest hate, with curses in her mouth, tears in her eyes, the bleeding witness of my hatred by having God, her conscience, and these bars against me, and I no friends to back my suit at all. But the plain devil, and dissembling looks, and yet to win her, all the world to nothing. Woo-hoo! Has he forgot already that brave prince, Edward her lord, whom I, some 3 months since, stabbed in my angry mood at Tewkesbury? A sweeter and a lovelier gentleman, framed in the prodigality of nature, young, valiant, wise, and no doubt right royal. Spacious world cannot again afford, and will she yet abase her eyes on me, that cropped the golden prime of this sweet prince and made her widow to a woeful bed? On me, whose all not equals Edward's moiety? On me, that halts and am misshapen thus? My dukedom to a beggarly denier, I do mistake my person all this while. Upon my life, she finds, although I cannot myself, to be a marvelous proper man. I'll be at charges for a looking glass, and entertain a score or 2 of jailers to study fashions to adorn my body. Since I am crept in favor with myself, I will maintain it with some little cost. But first, I'll turn yon fellow in his grave, and then return lamenting to my love. Shine out, fair sun, till I have bought a glass, that I may see my shadow as I pass. Have patience, madam. There is no doubt His Majesty will soon recover his accustomed health.
And that you broke a deal. It makes him worse. Therefore, for God's sake, entertain good comfort and cheer his grace with quick and merry eyes.
If he were dead, what would betide on me?
No other harm, but loss of such a lord.
The loss of such a lord includes all harms.
The heavens have blessed you with a goodly son, to be your comforter when he is gone.
Ah, he is young, and his minority is put unto the trust of Richard Gloucester, a man that loves not me, nor none of you.
Is it concluded he shall be protector?
It is determined, not concluded yet, but so it must be. If the king miscarry.
Here come the lords of Buckingham and Derby.
Good time of day unto your royal grace.
God make your majesty joyful, as you have been.
The Countess Richmond, good my lord of Derby, to your good prayer will scarcely say amen. Yet Derby, notwithstanding she is your wife, and loves not me, be you, good lord, assured I hate not you for her proud arrogance.
I do beseech you either not believe the envious slanders of her false accusers, or, if she be accused on true report, bear with her weakness, which I think proceeds from wayward sickness and no grounded malice.
Saw you the king today? my Lord of Derby?
But now the Duke of Buckingham and I are come from visiting His Majesty.
What likelihood of his amendment, lords?
Madam, good hope! His Grace speaks cheerfully.
God grant him health. Did you confer with him?
Ah, madam, he desires to make atonement between the Duke of Gloucester and your brothers, and between them and my Lord Chamberlain, and sent to warn them to his royal presence.
Would all were well, but that will never be. I fear our happiness is at the height.
They do me wrong, and I will not endure it. Who is it that complains unto the king that I forsooth them stern and love them not? By holy Paul, they love his grace but lightly, that fill his ears with such dissentious rumors, because I cannot flatter and look fair, smile in men's faces, smooth, deceive and gawk, duck with French nods and apish courtesy. I must be held a rancorous enemy. Cannot a plain man live and think no harm? But thus his simple truth must be abused with silken, sly, insinuating jabs.
To whom in all this presence speaks your Grace?
To thee, that hast nor honesty nor grace. When have I injured thee? When done thee wrong? Or thee? Or any of your faction? A plague upon you all! His royal grace, whom God preserve better than you would wish, cannot be quiet, scarce a breathing while, but you must trouble him with lewd complaints.
Brother of Gloucester, you mistake the matter. The king, on his own royal disposition, and not provoked by any suitor else, aiming, belike, at your interior hatred, that in your outward action shows itself against my children, brothers, and myself, makes him to send, that he may learn the ground.
I cannot tell. The world is grown so bad that wrens make prey where eagles dare not perch. Since every Jack became a gentleman, there's many a gentle person made a Jack.
Come, we know your meaning, Brother Gloucester. You envy my advancement and my friends. God grant we never may have need of you.
Meantime, God grants that I have need of you. Our brother is imprisoned by your means, myself disgraced, and the nobility held in contempt, while great promotions are daily given to ennoble those that scarce some 2 days since were worth and noble.
By him that raised me to this careful height, from that contented hap which I enjoyed, I never did incense his majesty against the Duke of Clarence, but have been an earnest advocate to plead for him. My lord, you do me shameful injury, falsely, to draw me in these vile suspects.
You may deny that you were not the mean of my Lord Hastings' late imprisonment?
She may, my lord, for...
She may, Lord Rivers? Why? Who knows not so? She may do more, sir, than denying that. She may help you to many fair preferments, and then deny her aiding hand therein and lay those honors on your high desert. What, may she not? She may, marry, may she.
What? Marry may she?
What, marry may she? Marry with the king, a bachelor, and a handsome stripling too. I wish your grandam had a worse match.
My lord of Gloucester, I have too long borne your blunt upbraidings and your bitter scoffs. By heaven, I will acquaint his majesty of those gross taunts that oft I have endured. I had rather be a country servant maid than a great queen with this condition, to be so baited, scorned, and stormed at. Small joy have I in being England's queen. And lessened be that small, God, I beseech him, thy honor, state, and seat is due to me.
What? Threat you meet with telling of the king? Tell him to spare not! Look what I have said. I will avouch it in the presence of the king. I dare adventure to be sent to the tower. 'Tis time to speak. My pains are quite forgot.
Out, devil! I do remember them too well. Thou killedst my husband Henry in the tower, and Edward my poor son at Tewkesbury.
Yeah, you were queen. I, or your husband king. I was a pack horse in his great affairs. A weeder out of his proud adversaries. A liberal rewarder of his friends. To royalize his blood, I spent mine own.
Aye, and much better blood than his or thine.
In our which time, you and your husband Grey were factious for the house of Lancaster. In Rivers, so were you. Was not your husband in Margaret's battle at St. Albans slain? Let me put in your minds, if you forget, what you have been in this and what you are. With all what I have been and what I am.
A murderous villain, and so still thou art.
Poor Clarence did forsake his father, Warwick. Aye, and forswore himself which his pardon.
Which God revenge.
To fight on Edward's party for the crown. And for his meed, poor lord, he is mewed up. I would to God my heart were flint like Edward's, or Edward's soft and pitiful like mine. I am too childish, foolish for this world.
Hie thee to hell for shame, and leave this world, thou cacodemon. There thy kingdom is, my lord of Gloucester. In those busy days which here you urged to prove us enemies, we followed in our lord, our sovereign king. So should be you, if you should be our king.
If I should be, I had rather be a peddler. Far be it from my heart, the thought thereof.
As little joy, my lord, as you suppose you should enjoy. Were you this country's king, as little joy you may suppose in me that I enjoy being the queen thereof. A little joy enjoys the queen thereof, for I am she, and altogether joyless. I can no longer hold me patient. Hear me, you wrangling pirates, that fall out in sharing that which you have pilled from me. Which of you trembles not that looks on me? If not that I am queen, you bow like subjects, yet that, by you deposed, you quake like rebels. Ah, gentle villain, do not turn away.
Foul wrinkled witch, what makest thou in my sight?
But repetition of what thou hast marred, that will I make, before I let thee go.
Wert thou not banished on pain of death?
I was, but I do find more pain in banishment than death can yield me here in my abode. A husband and a son now owest to me, and now a kingdom, all of you allegiance. This sorrow that I have by right is yours, and all the pleasures you usurp are mine.
The curse my noble father laid on thee when thou didst crown his warlike brows with paper, and with thy scorns chewest rivers from his eyes, and then to dry them gavest the duke a clout, steeped in the faultless blood of pretty Rutland. His curses then, from bitterness of soul, denounced against thee, are all fallen upon thee, and God, not we, hath plagued thy bloody deed.
So just is God, to right the innocent.
Oh, 'twas the foulest deed to slay that brave, and the most merciless that e'er was heard of. Tyrants themselves wept when it was reported. No man but prophesied revenge for it.
Northumberland, them crazy wept to see it. What? Were you snarling all before I came, ready to catch each other by the throat, and turn you all your hatred now on me? Did York's dread curse prevail so much with heaven, that Henry's death, my lovely Edward's death, their kingdom's loss, my woeful banishment, should all but answer for that peevish brat? Can curses pierce the clouds and into heaven? Why then, give way, dull clouds, to my quick curses. They're not my war. By surfeit die your king, as ours by murder to make him a king. Edward thy son that now is Prince of Wales, for Edward our son that was Prince of Wales. Die in his youth, by like untimely violence. Thyself a queen, for me that was a queen, outlive thy glory like my wretched self. Long mayest thou live to wail thy children's death, and see another as I see thee now, decked in thy rights as thou art stalled in mine. Long die thy happy days before thy death, and after many lengthened hours of grief, die neither mother, wife, nor England's queen. Rivers and Dorset, you were standers by, and so wast thou, Lord Hastings, when my son was stabbed with bloody daggers. God, I pray him that none of you may live his natural age, but by some unlooked accident cut off.
Have done thy charm, thou hateful, withered hag!
And leave out thee? Stay, dog, for thou shalt hear me. If heaven have any grievous plague in store, exceeding those that I can wish upon thee, oh, let them keep it till thy sins be ripe, and then hurl down their indignation on thee, the troubler of the poor world's peace. The worm of conscience still gnaw thy soul. Thy friends suspect for traitors while thou livest, and take thee traitors for thy dearest friends. No. Sleep, close up that deadly eye of thine, unless it be while some tormented dream affrights thee with a hell of ugly devils. Thou elfish mocked, abortive rooting hog, thou that was sealed in thy nativity, the slave of nature and the son of hell, thou slander of thy heavy mother's womb, thou loathed issue of thy father's loins, thou rag of honor, thou detested
Margaret!
Richard! I call thee not.
I cry thee mercy then, for I did think that thou hadst called me all these bitter names.
Why, so I did, but looked for no reply. Oh, let me make the period to my curse.
'Tis done by me, and ends in Margaret.
Thus have you breathed your curse against yourself, poor painted queen. Vain flourish of my fortune, why strewest thou sugar on that bottled spider, whose deadly web ensnareth thee about? Fool! Fool! Thou whettest a knife to kill thyself. The day will come that thou shalt wish for me to help thee curse this poisonous bunch-backed toad.
Frostbone woman, in thy frantic curse, lessen thy harm, thou move our patience.
Foul shame upon you! You have all moved mine. Were you well served, you would be taught your duty. To serve me well, you all should do me duty. Teach me to be your queen, and you my subjects. Oh, serve me well, and teach yourselves that duty.
Dispute not with her, she is lunatic.
Peace, Master Marquess. You are Malapert. Your fire new stamp of honor is scarce current. Oh, that your young nobility could judge what 'twere to lose it and be miserable. They that stand high have many blasts to shake them, and if they fall, they dash themselves to pieces.
Oh, good counsel, Mary! Learn it, Marcus!
It touches you, my lord, as much as me.
Aye, and much more. But I was born so high. Our airy buildeth in the cedar's top, and dallies with the wind and scorns the sun.
And turns the sun to shade. Alas, alas, witness my son, now in the shade of death, whose bright outshining beams thy cloudy wrath hath in eternal darkness folded up. Your eyrie buildeth in our Aries nest. O God, that seest it, do not suffer it, as it is one with blood. Lost be it so.
Peace for shame, if not for charity.
It's neither charity nor shame to me. Uncharitably with me have you dealt, and shamefully my hopes by you are butchered. My charity is outrage, life my shame, and in that shame still live my sorrows reign.
Have done!
O princely Buckingham, I'll kiss thy hand in sign of league and amity with thee. Now fair befall thee in thy noble house. Thy garments are not spotted with our blood, nor thou within the compass of my curse.
No one here, for curses never pass the lips of those that breathe them in the air.
I will not think but they ascend the sky, and there await God's gentle sleeping peace. Buckingham, take heed of yonder dog. Look, when he fawns, he bites, and when he bites, his venom teeth will rankle to the death. Have naught to do with him. Beware of him. Sin, death, and hell have set their marks on him, and all their ministers attend on him.
What doth she say, my lord of Buckingham?
Nothing that I respect, my gracious lord.
What? Dost thou scorn me for my gentle counsel, and sue the devil that I warn thee from? Oh, but remember this another day, when he shall split thy very heart with sorrow, and say poor Margaret was a prophetess. Live each of you the subjects to his hate, and he to yours, and all of you to God's.
My head doth standing in to hear her curses, and so doth mine. I muse while she's at liberty.
I cannot blame her. By God's holy mother, she had too much wrong, and I repent my part thereof that I have done to her.
I never did her any to my knowledge.
Yet, you have all advantage of her wrong. I was too hot to do somebody good. That is too cold in thinking of it now. Marry. As for Clarence, he is well repaid. He is franked up to fatting for his pains. God pardon them that are the cause thereof.
A virtuous and a Christian-like conclusion, to pray for them that have done scathe to us.
So do I ever, being well advised, for had I cursed now, I had cursed myself. Madam, His Majesty does call for you, and for your grace, and yours, my gracious lord.
Catesby, I come. Lords, will you go with me?
We wait upon your grace. I do the wrong, and first begin to brawl. The secret mischiefs that I set abroad, I lay it to the grievous charge of others. Clarence, who I indeed have cast in darkness, I do beweep to many simple goals. Namely, to Derby, Hastings, Buckingham, and tell them 'tis the Queen and her allies that stirred the King against the Duke my brother. Now they believe it, and withal wet me to be revenged on Rivers, Dorset, Grey. But then I sigh, and with a piece of scripture tell them that God bids us do good for evil. And thus I clothe my naked villainy with odd, old, and stolen forth of holy writ, and seem a saint. When most I play the devil. But soft, here come my executioners. And now my hardy, stout resolved mates, are you now going to dispatch this thing?
We are, my lord, and come to have the warrant that he may be admitted where he is.
Well thought upon. I have it here about me. When you have done, repair to Crosby Place. But sirs, be sudden in the execution. Withal, obdure it. Do not hear him plead, for Clarence is well spoken, and perhaps may move your hearts to pity if you mock him.
Take, my lord. He will not stand debate. Talkers are no good doers. Be assured, we're going to use our hands and not our tongues.
Your eyes drop millstones when fools' eyes fall tears. I like you lads. About your business straight. Go. Dispatch.
We will, my noble lord. Why looks your grace so heavily today?
Oh, I have passed a miserable night, so full of fearful dreams, of ugly sights, that, as I am a Christian faithful man, I would not spend another such a night. No, 'twere to buy a world of happy days, so full of dismal terror was the time.
What was your dream, my lord? I pray you tell me.
Methought that I had broken from the tower and was embarked across Burgundy, and in my company my brother Gloucester, who from my cabin tempted me to walk upon the hatches. Yet we looked toward England, and sighted up 1,000 heavy times during the wars of York and Lancaster that had befallen us. As we paced along upon the giddy footing of the hatches, methought that Gloucester stumbled and had fallen, struck me. That thought stayed him overboard into the tumbling billows of the main. Oh Lord, methought what pain it was to drown, what dreadful noise of waters in mine ears, what sights of ugly death in mine eyes. Methought I saw 1,000 fearful racks, 1,000 men that fishes not upon. Wedges of gold, great anchors, heaps of pearl, inestimable stones, unvalued jewels, all scattered in the bottom of the sea. Some lay in dead men's skulls, and in the holes where eyes did once inhabit, there were crept, as 'twere in scorn of eyes, reflecting gems that wooed the slimy bottom of the deep, and mocked the dead bones that lay scattered by.
Had you such leisure in the time of death to gaze upon these secrets of the deep?
Methought I had, and often did I strive to yield the ghost, but still the envious flood stopped in my soul, and would not let it forth to find the empty, vast, and wandering air, but smothered within my panting bulk, who almost burst to melt it in the sea.
Waked you not in this sore agony?
No. My dream was lengthened after life. Oh, then began the tempest of my soul. I passed methought the melancholy flood, with that sour ferryman which poets write of, unto the kingdom of perpetual night. The first that there did greet my strange soul was my great father-in-law, renowned Warwick, who spake aloud, "What scourge for perjury can this dark monarchy afford false Clarence?" And so he vanished. Then came wandering by a shadow like an angel, with bright hair, dabbled in blood, and he shrieked out aloud, "Clarence has come! False fleeting perjured Clarence, that stabbed me in the field by Tewkesbury! Seize on him, furies! Take him into torment!" Would that methought a legion of foul fiends environed me, and howled in mine ears such hideous cries that, with the very noise I, trembling, waked, and for a season after could not believe but that I was in hell. Such terrible impressions made my dream.
No marvel, Lord, though it affrighted you. I am afraid, methinks, to hear you tell it.
Keeper, I have done these things and now give evidence against my soul, for Edward's sake, and see how he requites me. Oh God, if my deep prayers cannot appease thee, but thou wilt be avenged on my misdeeds, yet execute thy wrath in me alone. Oh, spare my guiltless wife and my poor children. Keeper, I pray thee, sit by me a while. My soul is heavy, and I fain would sleep.
I will, my lord. God give your grace good rest. Sorrow breaks seasons and reposing hours, makes the night morning and the noontide night. Princes have but their titles for their glories, an outward honor for an inward toil, and for unfelt imaginations they often feel a world of restless cares, so that between their titles and low name there's nothing differs but the outward frame.
Who's here?
What wouldst thou, fellow? How camest thou hither?
I speak with Clarence, and I go hither on my legs.
What? So brief?
That's better, sir, than to be tedious. Let him see our commission, and talk no more.
Huh? I am in this, commanded to deliver the noble Duke of Clarence to your hands. I will not reason what is meant hereby, because I will be guiltless from the meaning. There lies the Duke asleep, and there the keys. I'll tell the king and signify to him that thus I have resigned to you my charge.
You may, sir. 'Tis a point of wisdom. Very well. Right. Shall I stab him as he sleeps? No, he'll say it was done cowardly when he wakes. No, he shall never wake until the great judgment day. Why? Then he'll say we stabbed him sleeping. Nothing of that great judgment. I've felt a kind of remorse in me. What? Art thou afraid? Not to kill him, having a warrant, but to be damned for killing him, for under which no warrant can defend me. I thought thou hadst been resolute. So I am. To let him live. I'll back to the Duke of Gloucester and tell him so. No, I promised I had to. I hope this passionate humor of mine will change. It was one to hold me, but while one tells 20, how does thou feel thyself now? Right, some sort of trait of conscience are yet within me. Remember our reward when it is done. Don't. He dies. I have forgot the reward. Where's thy conscience now? Oh, and the Duke of Gloucester's purse. When he opens his purse, give us our reward. Thy conscience flies out. No matter. Let it go. Just feel 1 million entertainment. What if it comes to me again? I'll not matter with it. It makes a man a coward. A man cannot steal, but it causes him. A man cannot swear, but it takes him. A man cannot lie with his neighbor's wife, but it takes him. 'Tis a blushing, shameless spirit that literally in a man's bosom. It fills a man full of obstacles. It made me once restore a purse of gold that by chance I found. It beggars any man that keeps it. It is turned out of towns and cities for a dangerous thing, and every man that means to live well endeavors to trust to himself and live without it. Jones, can't even know it's my elbow, persuading me not to kill the Duke. Take the devil in thy mind, and believe him not. He would insinuate with thee, but to make thee shine. I am strong friend. You cannot prevail with me. Spoke like a tall man that respects thy reputation. Come, shall we fall to work? Take him on the crossguard with the hilt of thy sword, and then throw him into the Momsey butt in the next room. Excellent device! And make a shot of him. Don't wake! Strike! No, we reason with him.
In God's name, what art thou?
A man, as you are.
But not as I am, royal.
Nor you as we are, loyal.
Thy voice is thunder, but thy looks are humble.
My voice is now the king's, my looks mine known.
How darkly and how deadly dost thou speak. Your eyes diminish me. Why look you pale? Who sent you hither? Wherefore do you come? To murder me? You scarcely have the hearts to tell me so, and therefore cannot have the hearts to do it. Wherein, my friends, have I offended you?
Offended us you have not, but the king.
I shall be reconciled to again.
Never, my lord. Therefore, prepare to die.
Are you drawn forth among a world of men to slay the innocent? What is my offense? Where is the evidence that doth accuse me? What lawful quest have given their verdict up unto the frowning judge? Or who pronounced the bitter sentence of poor Clarence' death? Before I be convict by course of law, to threaten me with death is most unlawful. I charge you, as you hope, to have redemption by Christ's dear blood shed for our grievous sins, that you depart and lay no hands on me. The deed you undertake is damnable.
What we will do, we do upon command. And he that has commanded is our king.
Herodias' vassals, the great king of kings, hath in the table of his law commanded that thou shalt do no murder. Will you then spurn his edict and fulfill a man's? Take heed, For he holds vengeance in his hand to hurl upon the heads that break his law.
And that same vengeance doth he hurl on thee for false forswearing and for murder too. Thou didst receive the sacrament to fight and quarrel of the house of Lancaster, and like a traitor to the name of God, didst break that vow, and with thy treacherous blade, unrapish the bowels of thy sovereign son, whom thou wast sworn to cherish and defend. How canst thou hold God's dreadful law to us, when thou hast broken it in such dear degree?
Alas, for whose sake did I that ill deed? For Edward, for my brother, for his sake, he sends you not to murder me for this. For in that sin he is as deep as I. If God will be avenged for the deed. Oh, know you yet he doth it publicly? Take not the quarrel from his powerful arm. He needs no indirect or lawless course to cut off those that have offended him.
Who made reason a bloody minister with Dallas bringing brave Plantagenet, that princely office was shocked and mighty.
My brother's love, the devil with my rage.
Thy brother's love, our duty and thy fault, provoke us hither now to slaughter thee.
Oh, if you love my brother, hate not me. I am his brother, and I love him well. If you are hired for me, go back again, and I will send you to my brother Gloucester, who shall reward you better for my life than Edward will for tidings of my death.
You are deceived. Your brother Gloucester hates you.
Oh no! He loves me, and he holds me dear. Go you to him for me.
I shall regret.
Tell him that our princely father York blessed his 3 sons with victorious arm and charged us from his soul to love each other. He little thought of this divided friendship. Bid Gloucester think of this, and he will weep.
Aye, millstones, as he lessoned us to you.
Oh, do not slander him, for he is kind.
Right as snow and harvest. Come, you deceive yourself. 'Tis he that sends us to destroy you here.
It cannot be, for he bereft my fortune, and hugged me in his arms, and swore with songs that he would labor my delivery.
Why so late off? When he delivers you from this earth, slide up to the joys of heaven. Make peace with God, for you must die, my lord.
Have you that holy feeling in your souls to counsel me to make my peace with God? And are you yet in your own soul so blind that you will war with God by murdering me? Oh, sirs, consider, they that set you on to do this deed will hate you for the deed.
What shall we do?
Relent and save your souls. Which of you, if you were a prince's son, being pent from liberty, as I am now, if 2 such murderers as yourselves came to you, would not entreat for life?
Relent? No, 'tis cowardly and womanish.
Not to relent is beastly, savage, devilish. My friend, I spy some pity in thy looks. Oh, in thine eye be not a flatterer. Come thou on my side, and entreat for me, as you would beg. Were you in my distress, a begging prince, what beggar pities not?
Look behind you, my lord. Take that! And that! And this will not do. And that is the mountain at your head. A bloody deed, and desperately dispatched. How very light-hearted. Did I wash my hands of this most grievous murder? Now, What meanest thou, that thou helpest me not? My heavens, the Duke shall know how slack you have been. I would he knew that I had saved his brother. Take thou the flea and tell him what I know. For I repent me that the Duke is slain. So do not I. Go, coward as thou art. Well, I'll go hide away in some hole. You'll have to dig him order for his burial. And when I have my meat, I will away. What is your house?